Mr. AD,
Hey,
how are you?
everything's good. Just getting up.
I know, my bad. 9 a.m. Yes, are you in West Coast, right?
Yeah, we on the West Coast. I thought it was gonna be. I didn't. My assistant told me a different time, so it's
Okay,
all good.
no problem. Well, thank you for joining us. Not going to take too much of your time, but definitely want to have this important conversation for sure.
Oh yeah, let's do it. I love it.
Perfect, perfect. So, guys, we today is World Mental Health Day, and we do a lot of conversations around mental health, depression, anxiety, all of those things. But we really wanted to tackle and have conversations around your physical health and how that does affect your mental health and things like that. And today we'll be talking to A.D. Dolphin, who is the CEO of DHerbs, which is the home of the Full Body Cleanse and other herbal supplements. And also, you might have seen him on the Steve Harvey Show. So, you doing good? I know you just woke up, but how you feeling?
Man, I feel amazing, man. And thanks for having me on the show, man. I totally appreciate it.
Of course, of course. Perfect, perfect. So first, just right out the gate, why is your physical health and physical well-being so important for your mental health?
Wow, first of all, people just don't understand how you feel physically, outwardly will definitely affect and show you how your mental health is just so important, man. It just plays a huge, huge role on what's going on with you mentally, man. It plays a huge role, and more you see people seeking psychiatrists, seeking people to talk to, seeking mentors, seeking things outwardly, so therefore inwardly they can feel better about themselves.
So true, so true. And even on the flip side, what are the how do having mental health issues also affect your physical well-being?
Yeah. Yeah, it's turning out, it's a lot of things that are affecting our mental health. A lot of times people don't understand how food itself affects our mental health as far as sugar, caffeine, things along those lines. Having too much of it can definitely affect you. It also plays a role. Just being overall healthy will definitely help you in this way.
So as we talk about your about physical health and staying fit, we're in quarantine right now,
Right.
kind of, sort of in this in between. We don't know what's going on type thing. How are some of the ways that you suggest that people, stay physically fit? I would say kind of the brackets are the eating aspect of it. I would love you to talk about that, but then also about, exercise and things also.
You know what it is right now? This is an amazing time. A lot of times people are looking at it as being something really, really bad. Aside the possible bad things or some of the bad things that may have happened to people, this is really, really an amazing time. What I mean by that is this is the first time in our life that we could take a time out. We're allowed, resting is okay. Staying home is okay. Getting better is okay. So you can literally right now, since a lot of people are working from home, a lot of people are on the unemployment and still receiving a check, it gives you a chance to upgrade your body, upgrade where you are in life, make better decisions, change careers. It's a lot of opportunities there, and people just don't, they're kind of letting what's going on, the news and things like that, affect them. But really, really, honestly, it's an amazing opportunity that we have the chance to kind of shift, in a different direction. You can cleanse during this time because you're at home. You're at home. This is a great time that you could cleanse. You don't have the conflict of going to work and dealing with your boss and doing all these other things. This is, like I said, it's an amazing opportunity for people to make a shift in life.
Awesome, awesome. And as I kind of did some research and hearing you talk about a lot of the various different things, and I definitely want to get into, the herbs and the different cleanses stuff that you offer, but I want to know more about food consumption. And I think that's such an important piece that you speak heavily about the certain things that we eat. And, even in our community, I always say you will always see these fast food places around the urban development. So easily than you would see around other our counterparts neighborhood. But can you talk a little bit about the things that we eat and how that affects us?
Absolutely. First of all, when you talk about fast food, they do exist within our community. And that part is so crazy to me because now fast food used to be cheap and it's not anymore.
Right,
It's
right.
actually pretty expensive. It's a few dollars away from sitting down at a nice restaurant and actually enjoying yourself. So I kind of trip on that whole little thing now. But yeah, food plays a huge role in the way that we feel and outwardly. One thing I would say is like when you cleanse, the energy level that you receive, it's so important. I wish everyone in the world could cleanse just so they can see the true importance of food. Because when you clean out your system, your gallbladder, your heart, your liver, your colon, your spleen, your lungs, your kidneys, your adrenal glands, your blood, and your skin, when you flush those particular organs, the way that you feel is so amazing. Man, I mean, like you have more energy, stronger immune system, clearer skin. You'll be able to concentrate and focus a lot better. Food plays a huge role in our being today.
So when you talk about, so actually let's just dive into it about the products that you offer, and one of them is a full body cleanse. You know, a lot of people don't know exactly what it means to cleanse, how often. Can you kind of walk us through what that is and how that, you know, works?
No problem. So it's kind of a little bit what I said. So basically what it's going to do is going to clean out all your major organs. I kind of just mentioned them. Along with that process, we want you to eat clean. The diet that we ask you to do is a raw food diet. That means you're going to eat fresh fruits, vegetables, raw nuts, and raw seeds throughout that 20-day experience. And if you do that, man, that you'll really understand how much food plays a role in how you feel every single day, because the way that you will feel will be amazing, will absolutely be amazing. Like I said before, it be stronger immune system. You'll feel good. You'll sleep better. You'll wake up energetic. You'll wake up ready to go. You'll feel like you're 12 years old again as far as energy. You'll lose weight. It's so many amazing things that can happen for you. Also, if you're fighting any kind of disease or anything like that, those kind of things tend to get better. Now, it's one thing I always kind of explain to people. They always say, why raw foods? Why raw foods? And the reason why raw foods are so important is because your body digests it so fast. Now it gives your body the time to go fix other things. So when you eat something, sometimes you'll eat something, it might take you 10 hours, 15 hours to actually process it. And your body has to use that energy in that way. But when you're eating correctly, when you're eating raw foods, it's going to take it 2 and 3 hours to process it. So now when your body's done processing that, it says, hey, body, hey, I have nothing to do right now. What else can I do? Let me go over here and work on this high blood pressure. Let me work on this heart disease. Let me go over here and work on these other elements within my body so my body can perform better on a higher level. That's what you're allowing your body to do when you eat healthy and when you eat certain things.
Wow, wow. So not to get too grotesque, but how often should you really be going to the bathroom?
Great
You know,
question.
a lot of people don't know, and I think it's interesting to know like what's the standard to see if you're healthy or not.
You know, they always play around with that number, but it really comes down to this. If you eat 3 meals a day, then you should have 3 to bowel movements a day. Period. End
Three?
of the, you should have 3 bowel movements a day. And the reason why I say that is that eat raw. Eat raw. Eat raw for a few days. And when you eat raw for a few days, you'll notice after every single meal, an hour or 2 hours after that particular meal, you'll go to the restroom. It's just the way that it is.
But
So
it's so
the average
no, go ahead.
American has 3 to 5 a week. And
Wow.
that's why you have to understand that that's the reason why the United States is so obese. 70% of the population is obese because we're consuming more than our body is actually ridding out.
Wow. And you say that, and I just hear people in my head, you know, saying stuff like, "Oh, this stuff is going right through me," or "Oh, I'm going to the bathroom too much." And you know, for the most part, that's a good thing.
It's an absolutely good thing. And to be honest, women have more of an issue with it than anyone else because, you know, sometimes it's not a pleasant experience. But to be honest, when you're cleansing, it is a pleasant experience. There's no straining. You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
quick process. You're not
Right.
in there forever. It's a different process when you consume the right foods. It changes.
Right. Wow. So one thing that I also heard you speak about is how important your skin is, and how, you know, a lot of things like that's like the first place that anything goes is like your skin. May it be, you know, bacteria, you know, sunlight, all that type of stuff. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, no problem. So people don't understand your skin is actually the biggest organ in your body. A lot of times people think it's their liver, and it's not. Your skin is the biggest organ in your body, and more things actually pass through your skin than your actual bowels. And that's crazy. You just can't witness it. You can't see everything that's coming out of your skin. So it's so important to make sure what you're putting on your skin, because a lot of things that we're putting on our skin are clogging our skin and doesn't allow our skin to breathe. So therefore, we're trapping those things within our body. And it's another thing I always wanted to talk about. So I just want to bring it up now. A lot of times when people they have to understand like cough medicine, sneeze medicine, things like that. Those things are terrible for you. Stop taking them. Your body is trying to rid itself or something within your respiratory system. And it's so important to cough and release that. It's so important to sneeze and release that. Let your body go through its natural way of healing and stuff, instead of clogging your system up and not letting it breathe.
Right, right. Wow. So just to kind of go back to the skin piece, you said there's a lot of things that we put on our skin. What are some of those examples of things that you think we need to be cautious of, and what should we be putting on our skin?
Definitely lotion, types of lotion, types of creams, perfume, all these particular things. If you want to wear perfume, put it on your clothes. You know what I mean? Opposed to straight onto your skin. Just start making little healthy adjustments like that are so powerful.
Right, right. And I guess, and you know, even if you do have it on your skin, you know, making sure you're using the right soap to, I guess, remove those things from the day as well, right?
Absolutely. Just definitely try to find yourself a natural soap. Absolutely. That's a lot of these soaps have so much alcohol within them. So definitely, you got to remember, if you're putting it on your skin, technically you're consuming it.
Right, right. So, you know, we recently lost Chadwick Boseman to colon cancer. And, you know, there's kind of been a debate about when you should be screened for these type of things, prostate cancer, colon cancer, and things like that, where I believe the age is like 45 to 50 you should start. But again, we know Bozeman was way younger than that. What is your thoughts on that as it pertains to men looking at those type of screenings and having more conversations with their doctors?
You know, it's so crazy because men, we feel, and I have an issue with this too. So I think we feel like we're all powerful. We're the strongest person in the house. We're indestructible. And a lot of times we have to take the time to get checked out. And I'm not great at it either. So I definitely have hurdles with that. And we can use the medical world and the medical society to find out certain answers. That's what I think they're great at. They have figured certain things out, and we should utilize that to gather that information. And you know what? I would always look at the history within your family. That can definitely play a role. If colon cancer is an issue within your family, then maybe 5 years prior to being 40 or something like that, you definitely should look at those things, because you know they're able to spot certain things, and the faster you spot it, the quicker you can get rid of it.
Right, right. And I also, you know, I wrote this piece probably about a year or so ago where I interviewed a doctor, and it also talked about the dynamics of the familiarity that Black men have with doctors. A lot of times, because there's not a lot of Black doctors, you know, we kind of feel nervous or don't want to be honest with the doctors as well, because they don't look like us, not, you know, a little cautious and stuff. And it seems to be true a lot of times.
Man, it's totally true. It's totally true. People tend to gravitate to people who look like them, and it's just a flat out it. When it comes to authority and things like that, I just think that we honestly feel like, and I think it's true, where where we feel we're open to them. You know what I mean? Because they know our struggle. We know what it took for them to accomplish what they had to accomplish. And they kind of know whatever we're going through on our end too, because they've been there. So as far as being a doctor, being a police officer, being these different jobs, you know, it's nice to see us governing us. And I just think that because we feel like they're going to be a little bit more sensitive to us and take a little bit more care to us, because they have a family member, a dad, an uncle, a cousin that look just like us. So
and you know, go ahead.
Yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say another thing too is that I was reading, you know, reports too, is that they say married men live longer, and their theory behind that is that their partner is hey, you gotta get checked out. Is that a cough? What's going on? And they care for them more than the actual man. So if that's true, y'all need to go ahead and make sure y'all have somebody.
Yeah. You know what? That I think yeah, definitely having a great spouse or a great girlfriend pushing you in the right direction. They definitely tend to do that. They definitely tend to do that.
Right. Perfect. So, you know, trying to get into a little bit of the habits and the party scenes as it pertains to, you know, sadly in COVID-19, a lot of people are drinking more and, you know, smoking, you know, may it be weed, maybe CBD or whatever the case may be. What are kind of your thoughts on that as it pertains to maybe moderation? Is it really something that they should be cutting off? You know, they say a red glass of wine a day is okay for the heart. You know, what are your thoughts on that?
Hey man, when I see those kind of articles, back in the day, they used to say a cigarette a day was healthy for you.
Who said that?
Yeah, I'm telling you, go look it up. So when I see that, when they mention like red wine a day is great for your body, I'm always like, okay, who put out the article? What red wine company put out this article?
Right.
So you know, I just think people need to be really totally mindful at this time about what they're putting into your body, because anything that can lower your immune system, even though it can affect you. So right now we want the strongest immune system possible. We're doing a lot of outward things, social distancing. We're wearing gloves. You know, we're wearing masks. We're doing all these outwardly things, but our last line of defense is our immune system. So I wouldn't put any of those things in jeopardy. Right now, this is the time to sustain from a lot of those things and try to live a healthier life, because we are still this, you know, a lot of gyms are still closed. People aren't going to the gym anymore, you know, so this is the time to actually to revert back and really go towards health opposed to running away from it.
Understood. And as it pertains to, you know, COVID-19, again, you spoke on our immune system. What are some of the tips that you think people, you know, should be doing outside of, you know, wear the mask and things like that? Do you have anything else that maybe, you know, what we should be eating, drinking vitamin C, more water? I mean, even the vitamin D aspect of it, with everyone being in a house, that's really affecting people as well, not getting a sufficient amount of vitamin D.
Yeah, you know, the COVID-19, wow, that's such a tricky question. I don't know if I just think COVID-19, I think 20, 30 years, we're going to find out a little bit more about COVID-19.
Okay.
I don't think, and it's unfortunate because we live in a place where they don't always tell us the truth.
We know it.
And it takes 20, 30, 50 years for us to really find out, okay, what happened during that time period.
Right.
You know, so, but, you know, are the masks effective? Are wearing gloves effective? Are all these things being effective? Is it airborne? You know, I really honestly feel like a lot of those things are in question. I just think, honestly, people need to really just look towards their immune system, cleansing during this time, eating more fruits and vegetables, eating a healthier life, not drinking, not smoking, because these things are going to lower our immune system, therefore making it easier for us to attract something within our life that we don't want there, as far as possibly COVID-19, the flu, and any other thing like that. We just got to really, really be careful and do things that's going to strengthen us and not make us less effective out there.
Awesome, awesome. So we know you have DHerbs. Everyone, make sure you check it out. But what else can we look forward to from AD Dolphin?
So DHerbs is doing this thing called D-Active and DHerbs Kitchen. So we have these things coming out in 2021. It's going to basically, a lot of times when people are cleansing, they don't want to make the food and do things like that. So DHerbs Kitchen is going to actually allow us to ship them the food. So therefore they can do, they can go through their 20-day process and not mess up and not cheat, because they're going to have food readily available for them at their fingertips. And also DHerbs Active. Since a lot of people are doing more online things and things along those lines, we came up with this whole online working out online with a trainer and things like that. So we're gonna jump into that world also.
Perfect. Well, AD, I appreciate you for taking this time out and speaking to us. You gotta go back to sleep. Thank you guys for tuning in. And if you didn't learn anything, you should be going to the bathroom every time you eat.
There you go.
Take that away. That's the takeaway. If you ain't heard nothing else. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you, AD.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.